everyone? Welcome back to Mangastorian. If you are unaware, I've been reading a lot of One Piece, doing a reading club here on the Mangastorian channel on a practically weekly basis. So of course I had to jump on the bandwagon and give you my opinions on the One Piece trailer. Now that I'm lightly a part of the One Piece community, and I've read up to chapter 350, I feel it's time for me to give you my opinions. For the record, this thing's all about East Blue anyway. I've read that. I could talk about this. But I thought it'd be more fun to watch the trailer live with my buddy Kevin, who does all the editing for this channel. Hey,
that
it's
was
Kevin.
Quick.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me.
It's you. It's Kevin.
So we're going to watch this trailer.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid.
Okay, so it's 8 seconds for the record.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, it's 8. So I'm wondering if you're gonna say the same thing I'm thinking.
The first thing I wanted to talk about was actually his voice. Like, for most people who are watching this, I'm assuming you've already seen the trailer, and I'll give you the link to the trailer so you can watch it clean without us. But the voice, I find, like, it's not as over the top as anime Luffy. You know, and as the manga reader, I don't have it as over the top. So I kind of actually like his voice. It's still kind of cartoonish, a little more high-pitched, but... And that's just coming from someone who reads the manga over the anime, you know, so...
Yeah.
What did you think about the way he's doing that?
Okay, before we get to that, in this scene, they're building his ship.
Right. Wait.
That's not how it happens. And even before we get to him,
I didn't even
they're
catch
building
that.
the ship.
They're building the Going Merry.
They're building the ship. Yeah.
Where does he get the Going Merry? I'm trying to remember.
Usopp.
Yeah, it's from that island, right? They just kind of get it.
What's her face is
Oh, well, maybe. I mean,
girl.
this scene could be out of context. Maybe they're building it then, and him here is actually on the island.
Well, they show the city.
These might be disconnected. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think they are.
You know?
I mean, I mean, you'll see it. Well, you'll see it as you play more. But I guess if you want to talk about the voice, I sort of, felt the same way at first, but the thing is they're going with like he's got an accent too, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't heard enough of him speak though to really like in full sentences to really feel like
attached or not.
Yeah, like I don't know yet.
So I know you've watched all of the anime up to where we are, and now you're reading the manga to keep up with it. Did you watch the dub or did you watch the original Japanese?
So I watched the dub up until I couldn't anymore, which was like just after the time skip when I first started watching One Piece.
Right,
so
it was like 5 years ago that you started
now
watching.
I think they're up to like somewhere in Big Mom arc or Whole Cake Island. So I basically have watched like part in Japanese and part in English.
Okay, so you've kind of got both. Because
Yeah.
I watched a couple other reviews just to see what the general consensus of the community is on this whole thing after I watched the trailer. Because we weren't going to film this originally, so I was just seeing like the general consensus and stuff like that. Which now that I think about it was very, very touch and go because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But I figured East Blue. What are they going to spoil? They're not going to spoil anything at East Blue.
Yeah.
But anyway, and one of the things I noticed in a lot of them is if people watch the original Japanese, they were having problems hearing the English voices because they're used to the Japanese voices.
That's normal, though. I think that's normal. Like,
I mean, that's what it is with a lot of series. So
it's but after you get into the dub's actually pretty good. Like,
yeah.
I think the dub's really good. So
after 4Kids, even I could say I did not like the 4Kids dub. The 4Kids dub, I wasn't watching the anime.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, okay, this isn't terrible
when
anymore.
Funimation picked it up, the quality increased for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, let's keep going. We're only 8 seconds in, and
Yeah,
we're already
only 8 seconds in.
The sea's been calling.
See?
So?
They're-
I'm setting out.
Ah, you're right.
follow
They're
my
building.
dream.
But what if? Okay, I'm gonna go to this. Because we see Usopp in here. What if this is later? What if this is when they're building it on Usopp's island?
It's still wrong though.
They're gonna add some. They're gonna alter the story a little. They got to.
I mean, I know, but it's just like, man, like the nerd in me is like, can't you just make it the way it was?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So?
I don't know.
I'm setting out to follow my dreams.
There's Gratier.
I'm gonna be.
I found this weird because I can't remember, at least in the manga, any scene that had him just chilling next to the Bradier.
Like maybe when they first roll up.
Maybe. Yeah, because
they pull up but he's just like he's chilling there. I've been here for a while.
Yeah, like I don't know. This struck me as a little weird. Like we're colliding different arcs and stories together, which we probably are going to be because they're going to be trying to condense. I guarantee
probably
it's going to be
follow like the movie, like the East Blue movie. So it'll be probably pretty similar.
We're going to jump to different sequences, tell different stories, kind of a thing.
This was really cool though, like to see like the Baratier realized.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
And it looks good here. I like the way it looks here. You know, because I didn't actually watch this segment in the anime. I only read it, so this is kind of what I was picturing based on the images were weird for the manga at this point.
Yeah. And I've seen pictures like in the past couple of years of it, but seeing it like in the movie. Everything all together. Well, I guess it's not. Is it technically a movie? Is that what this is?
We don't actually know if it's a movie or if it's going to be a series.
Like, if it's a series, that's going to be crazy.
The assumption is a series based on the fact they did that with Cowboy Bebop. But I've actually looked into it. Right. If they said it at some point, I don't know. I just know it's the live action. The assumption is series based on things they have said. But I couldn't find a concrete movie or series.
But then it also concerns me if they're going to change things like the ship. I understand wanting to get people like to try and find another way to get people attached to the ship, but
yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
King of the pirates.
All I need is a loyal crew, and I think together we'd make a pretty good team.
All right, we got to look at Zoro. I mean, this is the best sequence of Zoro. What do you think of Zoro's design?
I think that they chose. I think they did a good job choosing the person for it. Like,
yeah, and I actually like the choice in hair color. They didn't go like neon green. They kind of toned it down.
Yeah. It's a little more, it's a little more realistic in a way. It's more believable. And then it's at the same time, it's just like, man, it's because you can tell that the cast they've gone to trying to lengths to try and get like a different type of ethnicity, right, for a lot of the crew members, and it's like, I love it. I love this.
I actually read an article that Oda planned for each one of the crew members to be like a different ethnicity, like where they're supposed to have come from. So I actually, knowing that, like the fact that they kind of chose different origins for everybody. Mm-hmm. So
we're heading up to the Grand Line.
See, because look, he's not in the, like right here.
Heading out to the Grand Line.
No, but they're not in the Going Merry. So this is that first ship they had.
Yeah. Well, but is it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right.
Ship, though?
It could just be a random ship. Yeah.
But we'll see a scene soon that
the Grand Line.
We're heading up to the Grand Line.
Grand Line. I mean, this will be cool.
A treacherous stretch of ocean.
All right, well, there we gotta look at, we gotta comment on the Nami.
We gotta talk about the Nami.
Treacherous.
This was like angsty teenage girl to me.
Yeah, this came across as out of all of the characters we do see, this struck me as the most cosplay next to Sanji.
It just I don't know. It's hard to get personality because I think this is the only time we hear her talk in the whole trailer.
She says like one or two more lines, but we don't get much of her. It's the hair. I can't tell if it's her hair or a wig, and it looks like her hair, but that's throwing me off because I'm so used to going to conventions where you see people kind of like, I don't want to say half-ass their cosplay because they pick these characters because they can make it look good, but that's what this one struck me as. Like, oh, it's a Nami cosplay.
It's just a normal Nami cosplay. It's hard to, it's really hard to like. They went very conservative, and we all know around this time she wasn't super conservative. Well, actually, she was up until after I think they left, like they picked up Usopp, and then she started wearing like bikini tops.
Right, because that also backfired when she got the disease.
She did wear the shirt early on, so okay. Yeah. But at the same time,
and based on what they did with Cowboy Bebop, I almost assumed we weren't going to get a bikini top Nami for most of the series.
Yeah, you can't expect that. But
Cowboy Bebop just totally dressed down Faye. It wasn't good.
Yeah. At the same time, it's like I can't really get a good feel of the character here. At first glance, it's like angsty teenage person, but at the same time, she was very disconnected at this time of the story.
Yeah.
A lot, was thinking about going back to Arlong, like probably. the
Yeah,
whole
this
time.
is early on where she was trying to get away from
Yeah.
them. I think she even said she wasn't in the crew until after Arlong. She was just
that's
for the
pretty
run.
much it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
after she wasn't really a member until that was situated. So
Yeah.
this could be, it's hard for me to gauge it. For now, I'm tentative on how I feel about it, but it could be okay.
All right.
Stretch of ocean.
I do want to 2-second comment. That CG doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to when we got
You
to
know what
these
scene
things.
this is, though?
Which one?
This scene right here.
Oh, it's when he's leaving the island initially, right?
This is, look who's on the boat. There's Shanks right there. This is the scene where he saves Luffy and gets his arm chopped off by the fish.
Right. That's what I mean. So it's at the very, very beginning of the story. Yeah.
Yeah, this is...
I didn't take that as Shanks, though. I'll admit.
It's hard to see. You can see the red hair there.
Yeah.
And the hat on his back. That's Shanks, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if this is the hat, this is his head, and this is his butt. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to... Yeah, he kind of looks like a weird thing. Yeah, I guess you're right.
With bigger islands.
So that's
Look,
Shanks.
right there.
That's Shanks.
That's it. Yeah.
I didn't even that didn't even click with me because I just saw the straw hat and thought
This is
Luffy.
when he uses a power that you don't know about yet.
Well, don't spoil it to me. What this? I kind of remember this. Is this Buggy's?
Is
Or-
Alvida.
Oh,
ship.
right before the Buggy
Yep.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
And you're not necessarily incorrect about... Luffy's ship was not this big, though. You remember? So
Yeah, it was a tiny ship. I don't even think they had a below
if you
deck.
look in the front there, you can see the barrel he was in the water. Right there.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little thing.
So
to
that might
see.
not be his ship at all. He's in the barrel right now.
Yep, I think he's in the barrel.
And then Cody would be on here then, right? Because
Yep.
then Cody ends up on the island with them. Yeah.
Pirates.
Okay.
This,
we gotta talk about Buggy.
I saw this and I was like, what the heck are they doing with Buggy?
I appreciate they're going in more of a Joker route, and I appreciate turning him real. Now the question is, how is that CG gonna look? Because how is he gonna disassemble his limbs and all that stuff?
Yeah. Well, not only that, I feel like, okay, they went with this, and this was a very striking scene for Buggy because he's a very goofy character in the end.
Oh yeah.
But like they made him look like very foreboding and evil because at first he was like a villain, but then you realize how goofy and weird he is, and it's like I'm hoping that they go that route. They don't change him to be this like evil. The Joker thing might not be bad, but like at the same time, Buggy is actually like he's steeped in lore in One Piece. Like
Oh yeah, I've been seeing him on the
So-
covers. He keep popping up on the covers for the longest
I
time.
kind of feel bad if they changed him a little bit personally, because like he's supposed to be goofy and weird, and then he's just it wouldn't be the same Buggy to me. But
To go
I
more
thought
of a
this was
darker
kinda
angle
cool,
with
though.
him. Yeah.
I thought this was kind of cool though. I was like, okay, let's see what they do with him.
I actually like the amount of detail they brought to him just being a pirate, like a goofy clown pirate, because even the teeth are yellowed
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Like it really looks
it
like.
looks good.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can pull it off.
Who is that?
Careful.
That's Zoro.
Oh,
Got
with
his-
the
he's got
bandana.
his
Oh,
little do-rag
okay.
bandana.
Yep.
That'll work for you.
Yeah. No, that's not the scene I'm thinking of. But yes,
Okay.
it's probably who I'm thinking
I'm
of later.
sensing a little bit of tension amongst the crew.
Not a
the
crew.
See now
There's Usopp.
there's Usopp.
Now, I appreciate them not trying to do like a Pinocchio nose on him. Like, to give him the
Yeah.
long nose.
It kind of would have been fun though.
But, I mean, do you really want that, though?
No, I just like it's taking. Usopp's a very interesting character for me, so it's taking me a minute to kind of get used to it.
Okay.
Not in a bad way. It's just like I need like they don't talk at all. Like we
Yeah.
don't really get any.
Sanji doesn't get a line
anything.
either, I don't think. I think Sanji,
No.
he's about to show up too, and I don't think he gets a line.
Yeah. But there's Usopp, so we can see Usopp one more time.
I like this design, and I like the scene we're going to see in a second.
We haven't seen.
Is that
This?
Shanks? That's Shanks, right? No.
No. I'm
Who is
pretty
that?
sure this is the Luffy scene where Sanji jumps into the water to grab him.
Okay.
Still together for
There's Sanji.
Problem, no curly eyebrows.
I was
No curly eyebrows.
I was wondering if you were going to do that, but it's kind of like the long nose for Usopp. It wouldn't translate well.
He needs curly eyebrows, man. Oh, they make so many jokes about it. And it's just
now
like,
here's a question I have for you on Sanji. Do you think they're going to give him his Brooklyn accent and everything that they gave him in 4 Kids? Like, which direction do you think they're going to go with this voiceover?
I think he's just going to be normal sounding.
Okay.
I think he's just going to be a normal guy without curly eyebrows.
Without curly eyebrows.
Very long. But
He's
I know he's got each
Oh yeah, that's the you called it. He's not that's the diving in.
He looks like a freaking child. Look at him.
Luffy?
Look how small.
I mean, he's supposed to be a child at this point.
But man, look how small he looks.
I know we've got each other's backs.
So that's the big secret. Oh, I paused it perfect for the Usopp
there it
shot.
Is, yeah, there's the other Usopp part. I thought that was cool because like that's what I expect. You know,
Right. Yeah. This design, the design works so well for Usopp.
Yeah, because he's like very bohemian in a way, right? Like the type of character he is.
Okay.
Like the style, like even in the show, like doesn't show as much because he's more of like man, it's hard to really describe. His look is just like almost like mechanic in a way sometimes too. The way he dresses.
Because I'm reading the part right now where he's dealing with Frankie in chapter 153, and he's just nothing but bandages from Luffy beating him up.
He just gets beat down.
He does.
I think this is cool though. I think this works.
I didn't even catch that the first time. He did the kick with the
He's
meal.
got the food in his hand.
Yeah. Okay, so this you commented, you're wondering if they're going to start the series here, which is what they did in the East Blue movie that I did watch, where they then jump to the different sequences.
Yeah, I could see them doing that.
I think this is either the beginning of the series or the end of the series. Like, I think it's one of those two options here. Because this is that infamous scene where they all end it. I've seen this scene as someone who just got into One Piece literally in January. I have seen this scene so many times.
It's like same thing with the Vivi scene, you know, very iconic scenes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be like the very end, right? Like, you know, as the zoom out implies.
Right, and that's it's either the end of that episode or it's like, I don't know, or they zip it off to like tell each of their stories.
Because this is when it kind of shifts. They kind of move forward, the red line and all that fun stuff.
I do feel like if they're limiting this to say 13 episodes, the best way to do it would be the East Blue movie style, but spend a little bit more time so we actually care about the characters. Because that was the problem with the East Blue movie, jumping to the conclusions.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. They don't really get you into the dangers of the story.
Yeah.
Because One Piece, everyone that's why they spend so much time writing about the characters for so long.
All right, and the last big thing, how do you feel about the Rubberman Band, like, CG?
You know, they did make him look like rubber, but I don't know why his fist kind of looks like rubber too. I mean, because
it's CG. That's why.
It's not the greatest, but this is this is when he punches Alvida. That's who that is.
Oh, is that who that is?
It's Alvida.
I'm gonna have to slow this down. I couldn't figure out who that was. I was trying to figure out who that was.
I had to really think about it. It's like, okay, think about the time. It's like
because he's on his boat without the Going Merry stuff. Oh. Oh yeah, that's definitely her. That's definitely her. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he does some crazy attacks.
This is where I was like, who the heck is that? But yeah, I didn't even think about Zoro with his bandana. Like, because I was like, who did he meet with black hair? It didn't dawn on me that it was.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
So that's the whole trailer, I think, for the most part. It tells us the date, August 31st, and it wraps it up there. So what are your thoughts on this? Because I'll give you mine real quick. As someone who just got into One Piece, back in January. My reasoning behind it was I didn't like the anime because only anime experience that I had had up to that point was the 4Kids era, and I found it to be too cartoony for me, which is why I never got into it. Reading the manga is what finally got me hooked on One Piece. So I kind of like the idea of a more realistic toned One Piece for people like my wife who wants to get into it, but also found the early era a little too cartoony to really be attached to. But my big concern is Netflix has never done any of these right. Any of these anime live action adaptations.
I think they've already changed some stuff, so we know that. Can they make it fun and entertaining to watch? Can they make it so that the characters are close enough to what we expect? I think that's kind of what's important. I at first I thought about it. I was like, I'm not really on board with the live action stuff, but I thought about it. I was like, just got to give it a chance, right? That's how we got into One Piece, right?
Right.
So,
I mean, that's how I got into it. I finally just gave it a shot for the sake of manga story, and I was like, I'm going to pick a giant series and try it. And I'm hooked. I love it. I literally woke up this morning. I didn't even know we were going to do this. This morning, I woke up, and I'm like, man, I haven't read One Piece in like 2 days. And I just started going through chapters again. Well, that way, but...
I think it'll be cool to see. Like, maybe it'll be good. I just want it to be fun and enjoyable and entertaining. Like... and relate to the characters and make me feel like these are the characters that I'm used to. That's the trick, right? It's trying to get them to feel like the characters we're used to, even though they look nothing really like them outside of the clothes.
Get something we're familiar with while telling a new story. That's the big issue. Like, not a new story, but something that doesn't feel carbon copied. Because whenever it's carbon copied, then you're like, all right, that was fun. And you move on. You know, and I don't think they're not going to be able to carbon copy it. Not with the way, like the Devil Fruit powers alone are going to be, how are you doing it?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they do those. And I guess while I'm looking at this picture, that's Luffy's skull because of the
scar
marker. Yeah, I was like,
I actually just put that together myself. Luffy's here, and I have to pause, and I just realized
that's
with the
a
scar.
Luffy skull. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited. It's been a long time since they've been like teasing this stuff, so.
Yeah, I think they started talking about it like 2 years ago that Netflix got the rights to do it, and everyone was like, oh god, you ruined everything else. Like, so far, I think there's 3 that I can think of. There was Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist,
Bleach.
and Bleach, 4, that's 4. Yeah, Bleach, and then there was, what was the more recent? Oh, Cowboy Bebop. And I think the best response we've gotten so far was Full Metal Alchemist, and the response was, it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I think, like, it's not, like, they never see, like, longevity, right? Like, this will probably just be a one and done, most likely. I mean, unless it's really good, but I don't think they've ever continued.
No, well, they all got so shit on that they never went past season 1. Now, from what I understand, Oda's actually involved in this project.
I heard that, like, if it wasn't going to go through unless he approved of it.
Yes.
So
because counter to that, Cowboy Bebop, literally the creator came out and said, I had nothing to do with this, and it's shit. Don't watch it.
Yeah. And I know how One Piece, watchers are. They're very adamant about the series. They love the series, and I think that's why we see a lot of people like upset about certain things, is because they care about the series, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, with this, you just kind of have to go into it with an open mind. And just like I did with the series, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. It's like, maybe it'll be good. Maybe they can somehow tell the story, of even the stuff where you're at, like even Skypiea, even like what. There's so much. Like, I don't know how they.
I will be amazed if they get to Skypiea with this series.
I'd be amazed if they continue it after this.
Right,
really, but
Dewey's Blue, call it a day.
Cool. I don't know. I like One Piece, right? So like. It's hard to like hate on the One Piece stuff, even though, I mean, unless it's really terrible.
Well, for me, as someone who just got into it, I think part of the reason was I was never oversaturated with One Piece. They've always done a really good job of like, it's there, you'll get the manga, you get the anime, but it's never been just in your face everywhere. Like Dragon Ball, for example. I love Dragon Ball, but you go to any hot topic and there's Dragon Ball stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
they went crazy with the merch. It's a little less with One Piece here.
Yeah.
Which is odd. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's so old or something.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for joining me today, Kevin. If you guys like this kind of content, let us know. Kevin and I were talking about possibly having a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure discussion. It'll probably be done in the same manner. So if you want that, let us know in the comments down below, and let us know what you think about the trailer. I don't have high hopes, but I'm more hopeful than I was. I'll say that.
Yeah, we just gotta hope.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, that one, just hope.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.